What does it mean for Christian men to find glory in being weak? Do you remember Andrew Tate? Of course you do. One of the reasons Andrew Tate said that he decided to become a Muslim instead of a Christian is because Christian men are weak, that Christians allow themselves to be mocked. Well, God will not be mocked. Jesus Christ was and is God. So what does it actually mean for Christian men to be weak? Because I'm no fan of Andrew Tate's style of so-called strength. I'm not on the Tate side of things, even a little bit. And yes, I know. He mouths words that are conservative. He's also someone who appears to be a consistent abuser of women. And yes, by the way, there is evidence of it. So what does it mean to be weak as a Christian man and to find glory in being weak? I'll talk about this in a second. It's not bodily weakness. Bodily weakness can affect all of us. Sometimes it sneaks up on us. Despite the fact that I've engaged a new CrossFit coach, this is the guy who won the games last year, James Sprague. Despite the fact that I've been experiencing a whole bunch of volume and workouts and new meanings of volume and new meanings of sore, despite the fact that I count every macro I eat, despite the fact that I track all my calories, despite of all these things, I developed one of the step paths to type 2 diabetes, one of the stepping stones. That is insulin resistance. I didn't know about this till I had a quarterly blood test. When I got that blood test, I was shocked to find out I had insulin resistance. But lucky me, I have friends at Bioptimizers. And I buy from them a series of products that are part of my normal protocol. This is a magnesium breakthrough, mushroom breakthrough, masszymes, a probiotic breakthrough. I buy those from them. They sent me for free a product called berberine breakthrough. And because I'm an arrogant jerk, I looked at that and said, I don't need this. This is about blood sugar. I got that all worked out. I didn't. I had insulin resistance. Berberine Breakthrough is a natural supplement that you take 2 pills before each meal, and it balances out your blood sugar response. It metabolizes, helps you metabolize carbohydrates better. It increases blood sugar intake into muscles instead of fat. It enhances the carbohydrate metabolism, and it boosts energy levels, overall well-being. It increases It increases myocardial uncoupling, which burns even more calories at rest, okay, because it burns them as heat. So when I found out that I had this and I showed this to my doc, Jen, she said, you got to take this stuff. So I do, because I don't want to get on those stepping stones to type 2 diabetes. Right now, you can maximize your metabolism, get off that roadmap to type 2 diabetes. Go to bioptimizers.com/Todd. Use code Todd to get 10% off all their products, including Berberine Breakthrough. And when you subscribe, you get amazing discounts, free gifts, and you can make sure that you never run out of monthly supply by subscribing. It's bioptimizers.com/Todd, promo code Todd. So what does it mean to find glory in weakness as a Christian man? It means that we are recognizing something, that true strength offers eternal value. The Apostle Paul talked about wanting God to take something away from him. It was a stumbling block or a pain or a limitation. It's in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 8 through 10. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardship, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, I am strong. It can be very, very difficult for super strong people to abide with Christ. Because after all, look at Andrew Tate. Physically strong, you could say mentally strong if you choose, and he has nothing in terms of Jesus Christ. He thinks that Jesus is mocked. He thinks to have the King of the universe, the kingdom of heaven in your body, in the person of the Holy Spirit, that's weakness. To have within you the very God who has always existed, who always will exist, who created everything, including the rules that govern the world, simple things like gravity and intense things like DNA structure. To have the power of heaven in your body is weakness. When we Christian men recognize that we have weak flesh. Spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, and the Holy Spirit grows within us. We have the ability to be strong like Jesus was strong, who was the strongest man in history. We have the ability to endure, to be patient, to be loving, to be kind, to be charitable, to be long-suffering. In other words, the same way Jesus is with us. It doesn't mean that we lay down if our families are at risk. It doesn't mean that we become physically weak. It means that we're there to be able to defend when we have to, physically. But it means that in most cases, that's not our calling. In most cases, we are to be more like the Lamb. When we find glory in weakness, it's because we recognize that when we're weak, Christ magnifies himself in us. It's not uncommon for Christian men to say, without God, I never would have gotten through that. How are you sustaining yourself through this? With God. How did you get through that? With God. With God. If you can find something stronger for me than having within you the power of the kingdom of heaven, I'm all ears. I just don't think you can possibly do that. That's what it means to find glory in being weak as a Christian man.